Alright, so this offending motherfucker. I just recorded a video using display capture because OBS won't capture the game. The game fucked that up. And I got a black screen of me talking about stuff you couldn't see. So, fuck you, game. I could orchestrate that. I don't see the need to. My first and only until very recently victory was with this ship. I liked this ship. It was working well for me. This unholy motherfucker is why I moved on to trying to unlock other things. I have not come back to this piece of shit yet because I can only deal with so many fails in a row. This one was pretty easy. This helped. This one I did, and it didn't give me credit for it. I know I did it right. And it's still just... So, when I get to either doing that or this again, I'm going to overdo it and have a battery involved just to give it some extra fuck you, because I did that and you didn't give me credit for it. And fuck you. None of these are gonna be easy. And I don't like it. I don't like it. The layout may grow on me, but I went out of my way to go looking for the quest for this and get it right, and this is what I get for my effort. This, I also did that. I looked this one up, and it turns out that you have to sit there and wait for the ship breaks apart animation to complete to get credit for it. So you need to have your cloaking upgraded at least once to have time for that, because 5 seconds is not enough for that whole goddamn animation to play. My weapons start hitting your ship is broken, takes like 5 seconds. Probably 4, but not enough. But that would have been helpful for this to be clear about. I destroyed the ship. You wanted me to wait for the extra fucking animation to give me credit, meaning I need to have upgraded cloaking, which I would have wanted to know sooner. That one I have had interrupted just by random bad pathing, in that it railroaded me. You cannot exit without getting railroaded through something that happens to have an environmental danger. Random shit is the only thing that's really going to interfere with that. But it still happens. These, I ended up liking. This one, I know how to make it work, but the last time I tried, I ended up getting something else instead, and now I don't have to. Hacking broke it, because a room that wasn't being used and oxygenated got hacked. It closed the doors, which let it oxygenate, which spiked me over the 20%. So yeah, getting hacked can and will fuck with that unless I happen to get hacked in rooms that are already populated either by people who aren't using air or it's not oxygenating rooms that aren't already. Because with both of the Lanius ships, this is what I got my other victory with. The bulk of the ship is being vented to open space all the time. Makes it less hospitable to invaders, makes dealing with fires not really a thing, um, except in the rare oxygenated room. Just helps. What also helped was hitting an abandoned sector which had more Lanius that I could pick up and supply my and crew my ship with. That's the word. But yeah, this ship ended up doing well for me. The combination of both mind control and the teleporting did also help. But going back to the B of this is still going to be a while. Since my efforts with some of these also got fucked up through bullshit. Unlocking other things is complicated, but I am hesitant to try and get anything done with this one. But I have seen the quest for this one and just did not go well with that. This one, I try and I just haven't gotten the right entry point, and that's as much as I'm going to say about it. And since I am not going to defeat the flagship with those, I am more likely to get that through a quest. Because, no, I would need to beat the flagship with 15 more of those ships than I currently have done, and more of those ships than I currently have. No. No. I am hoping, but am not ruling out the potential for disappointment that I actually like what I see when I finally get these. Because that. Yeah. This is the thing. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't know about this one. This one would be easier if they weren't so squishy, but that's part of the point. Their strength has a downside. Anyway, that. See, you're still doing your job. Good. Fucking thing. And it does get the window into forever out of the way. The problem that it had repeatedly is actually, if it shunts things to zeros and doesn't respond to what's there. Um, even when it wasn't actively being captured, just the game window being open fucked up um, things that were active. I I don't know what's wrong with it, but it does not get along with OBS in a way that makes it bork, and I'm not happy about it. Um, and yeah, that's just kind of sitting there, because usually rotating between these two things, because most other things I either don't need for typing out, like text anyway, because the numbers accept in most video games. This is actually the exception for that. Some games, when it wants numbers, it wants the numbers that sit above QWERTY. It doesn't want um, the numpad numbers. That's particularly a problem for me right now with Oblivion, because those are hotkeys, which is why it won't take numpad numbers, so I can't change the 1 and 2 hotkeys or use them. I don't. It's a thing I can work around and have, but it's frustrating that the tilde key not working means I can't get into the console for that game and other Bethesda games and any other game that uses that tilde key. So games where it specifically wants me to use those keys, that's more of a problem. B, at least for the games that I play, thankfully hasn't been as big a deal. It shows up more when I'm actually typing, talking to people online, or writing comments in um, game videos for other people. Um, but yeah, the 1, 2, and tilde um, are variably unhelpful. The page up does also get used in some games, but there's at least an on-screen clickable workaround for that to go up a level. In the games where it is, it takes you up a floor. And it's got an on-screen thing I can at least click to work around it. It's frustrating because I still default to going to the keys because the page down works to go down floors. But yeah, so it's annoying. It's also just frustrating because this keyboard isn't that old. So it's just defective from the get-go, and it only took a month for it to show up as a problem. And the replacement will get here when it gets here. So I get to grudgingly deal with it until it does. The keyboard this one replaced would still arguably technically work better because the keys that were getting sticky and not particularly responsive are still working better than not at all. But then there's also the I have to go grab it and unplug this one and plug it in. And I don't know if it will end up making me happier or less happy about things. But I don't know. I'm also not sure what I'm going to do with this. Since I don't have to send it back, they're sending me a replacement. Just without me having to return this dud. I may just undo all these screws I'm looking at in the back of it and take it apart. Because the first thing I did when I only noticed the first key, I popped it out to see if something had randomly gotten in there and interfered, because I know how to pop keys off and clean shit out, but it's only a month old and it shouldn't have been a problem, and it wasn't the problem yet, and a number of others just, nope, we don't work. Anyway, you have seen that shit. Oh, that's, yeah. These are the keys that I know don't work. I know print screen does. I did manage to test that. Technically, the pause break key may or may not. I didn't end up having a good test for that. But I have tested every. Did I test all the function keys? The F5 and F9 work. I'm not sure if I tested all the function keys, because some of them don't necessarily do anything unless I'm in a game that uses them. But yeah. I was hoping that FTL wouldn't be such a dramatic little shit about this, so that I could maybe, do a little bit of that while I'm waiting for a keyboard and still trying to figure out what other games in that bundle I want to play. But I don't know. FTL's definitely not on the list with how unnecessarily dramatic it's being. So I'll sort out from there what I can and want to play. I may just show more of the other things that I'm playing. Well, not Sims 4. The mods I have make that not YouTube friendly. Whether or not I'm actively engaging with that content, it's present and it makes it very specifically YouTube unfriendly. But I started a new Kenshi. There was a new update, and it had been a while, so I actually just restarted. But I don't think there's anything new there for me to show, and the mods that I'm using in it don't change anything in a way that really needs showing off. So I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, it is what it is.